Yes, sir, baby. It is on the radar. Yo, joining me today, North Carolina in the building. LittleJohn4k is here with me today. What up?
What up? What up?
Tyesha album out
Right
now.
now.
With the you got the hoodie on, the chains, all that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the back. The covers on the back of the hoodie. That's hard. Yo, how you feeling now that we got this album out into the world? Like, how have you been over this past year?
Man, the past year has been nuts because I actually been working on the album
Mm.
for like the past year, really. Like just filtering a bunch of songs, just pouring my heart to different tracks, just trying to see like what's gonna work. Like the Rico Love track that personally happened like last June, so
Oh, wow.
just to give you like a timeline of how long, I've really been working on that album.
That's crazy. Okay, well, since you brought up, I was gonna wait to bring up the Rico Love track, but since you brought it up, how did that record come about? Because that's pretty dope that you were able to
Yeah.
make that happen.
So my label, Social Currency, like I said, Rico and Carter and stuff, they have a relationship. So Carter took me out there. He asked me like, "You want to go work with Rico Love?" I'm like, "Duh, I want to go work with Rico Love." Like, what kind of question is that? So I do my research more and more. I'm like, oh, like I really got to go out there on my P's and Q's. So I got out there, and as soon as we hopped on a different track together, it was just like magic. Like soon as they happened, chemistry, and he been my bro ever since. Rico Love, shout out to him. But the record itself is doing amazing. It's just like everything's just great about it.
Because it's like your top record on Apple Music too.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It's
incredible.
my top record on like off the album in general, like on all platforms.
That's amazing. So with this album, obviously, the album's called Tyesha. What did you kind of want to portray with this project? You know what I'm saying? Because it feels like a more personal project than than the Follow Me project. This feels like more personal. And you were kind of on this personal journey, even with the EPs that you released last year, which I'm gonna get to. But I wanted to kind of get your thoughts on this album first.
Yeah, so we said once we decided like, okay, we're gonna drop an album and it's gonna be an album.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, if we're gonna drop an album, it really wouldn't make sense to give them a bunch of music without giving them me first.
Mm.
And once I said that, it was just like we all agreed, the whole label agreed, and that's where the name like Tyesha came from. Then like it was my manager's sports idea to use the baby pictures, and it was just like a collective idea of like everybody just throwing in their pieces, and it was just like Tyesha.
and that was it. So that picture is that picture of you on the cover,
Yeah.
right?
So this is me um for my preschool pictures. You do your
Yeah, they gotta have like the little creek in the background with the
yeah, you know
trees.
how it used to be back in the day. Everybody had the creek picture.
Yeah, 1,000%. You know, I had to ask if it was you because sometimes people use like other baby pictures and whatnot. So that's why I wanted to make sure that was you on the cover. And something that I really enjoyed about this is that like at multiple times on the project, you have like voicemails on it. You know what I'm saying? With whether it be your pops, your moms, whatever. With those voicemails, were those like? Did you tell them to record those, or were those like the usual like? Oh, I have these voicemails on my phone. Let me put them on the project.
Nah. So I did. I told them like I didn't tell them what to say, but I said like I need you to call and leave a voicemail, like just a regular voicemail. But but I did tell them like this is the song that's gonna play after the voicemail, so that they can know the cadence, and it just went from there.
And I feel like it went perfectly on that too.
Oh yeah. I wanted to. That's what I was saying. Like when I decided to make it Tyesha, I had to like include my family, figure out how and stuff like that. And the voicemail idea was my manager Kia's idea. She like, we should do voicemails, and that'll make it even more personal because we didn't want to just give you a bunch of music because I know the music is hot, but I didn't want to just give it to you, give it to you, give it to you. Like, you know, you
Yeah, I
need
know what
that
you're saying.
break and that pause to be like, okay, let me reset. And that's what they were. They were like resets, but why you reset, listen to my sisters argue, or why you reset, listen to my dad talk about this. It was just like that.
No, that's awesome, and I love how you incorporated your family on it because, like I said, it felt like a very personal project. Was there like a specific reason why you wanted to make it like this personal of a project? Like
It
why?
was like
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 now?
I said, once we because we put the tracks together first. Like we chose what possibly was gonna go on there. So it was about 20 songs. Then we were like, okay, we're gonna name it Tyesha. So now we gotta take these 20 songs and choose the most personal ones to Tyesha. Okay. So it ended up going down to like 14. But then it was like, it's still too wide. It's still, we need more personal. Like we need them to focus on Tyesha. So we cut off more songs and it ended up being 9 tracks. And it was like, okay, but now we got to fill back in, the rest of the stuff. So that's where the interludes came about.
Okay. So I see how like you kind of broke it down for them.
Yeah. So it was like, that's what I'm saying. We really put time and patience into because these same songs were already finished months ago. And we could have just dropped them like we were going to. Like it was going to be a mixtape and it wasn't going to be Tyesha. It was going to be something totally different, like all of that. But we was like, nah, the body of work was too good to just like throw out there without planning.
Right, 1,000%. And that's amazing. I love that. And kind of wanted to get into your other bodies of work that you put out last year. You had like the 4 sides of you, which one of them featured the record with Toosii, which was incredible. Obviously, another North Carolina / Syracuse native because he's from both. But I had Toosii on the show a couple weeks ago when he dropped this project. How did that record come about? Because I kind of like how Toosii has been working with a lot of newer artists coming out of North Carolina, because you're not the first artist who's been on the show that's up and coming from North Carolina who's also had a record with Toosii within the past year.
Yeah, Toosii, he definitely showing homage. Like he definitely like coming back and laying features on, I guess, people that he's seen working when he was working. And so, but that was just another like label play. They set it up and he did it completely like just off the strength. Like he didn't want nothing. He was just like, let's do it. Let's record. And he sent it back immediately. It was just like everything was great with that album. Toosii though, he's very humble, like very humble dude. If you've met him, so you
yeah. But like, Toosii is dope, and like it was funny because he actually told me this story about Lil Durk and how Durk put him on, and we all know what Durk is doing right now with a lot of young artists. And when I was thinking about it and I was listening to this record, I was like, oh, Toosii kind of doing that for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Toosii kind of doing that for Arts Rare.
I watched Durk put Toosii on, and it's weird. Like I really watched it, and then now I'm watching how Toosii like he'll invite us to come hoop with him and invite us to do like come to his meet and greets and shit like that, like stuff that he don't have to,
He don't have to do it.
He don't have to do that. Like he could just be like, I'm not social currency. I don't have to fool with social currency, like because we both got the same manager. Like Carter is both of our managers, but Carter is social currency and he's SCMG.
Got it. So, okay.
But I mean, we all one big family at the end of the day. But he could be technical. You know what I'm saying? Like Toosii could be technical. Like nah, but he just embraced us and everything, and just he rock with us. So we rock with him back.
And with this, you also so it's part of this 4 Sides of Me EP, and it's Fallen But Pain Doesn't Last Long, right? When we combine it all together, right? Mm-hmm. And what was cool about the EPs were that the pixelated picture by the end became a full picture, right? So with this, what were you trying to, what was your overall goal in putting out these EPs and kind of painting a story over 4 parts that combined into one thing at the end?
So the 4 Sides of Me, it started as a tape. It was a full tape.
Okay.
And we were like, at that time, I didn't really have a catalog of music out yet. I didn't really have like a steep fan base yet. I was still growing. And so they were just like, it would be better, let's just drop it in 4 parts. So in each 4 parts, we get them 2 videos, and it was just like stretching it out, but it was really all started as one tape. And we literally just took the first 4 songs, put them right here. The next 4 songs, put them right. Like,
love that.
It just made sense. And doing that, we was able to like get the internet involved and stuff like that, and like scavenger hunts and stuff like that. But we only working on 4 songs at a time, so we could push them equally. And Ended up being like 16 tracks that got released, but they all got like a equal promo and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Why did you kind of want to tell like that story? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did you want to tell that story? Like, what, like the title of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did you kind of want to? Why did you kind of want to? Because obviously it's one thing, but it was 4 parts, one project. I got that part obviously, but why did you kind of want to tell that story with this one? Because obviously the newer tape is more about you personally, family, and things like that. But this was more about like dealing with pain and whatnot.
So I personally chose like to do the 4 sides of me and stuff like that, just because it literally is the 4 sides of me. Like one day I might be in love at this point, but then I might be super sad and mad about Mikey dying over here, or I might be super turned up today, and that's where you get the souls and I don't give a fuck attitude. And or I might just be feeling that mellow type of vibe where it's like the butt, where it's just like I don't know what to do, like I'm just in a blah in my head. So that's really that, like the 4 songs in each side literally tells like how I feel about that shit. It is no fabrication or nothing.
That's awesome. I love your way of storytelling. I like between that and the new project. Like I just kind of like how you're telling these stories. Well, in that respect, through multiple projects, but on the project, through different sections and the voicemails and whatnot. Like I like how you kind of format your stuff, because I almost knocked my mic down. I stay doing that, but you show I don't know. It just shows that you're a storyteller. You're not just putting out an album just to put out an album.
Yeah, what's crazy is like before I ever thought about rapping, like ever thought I was gonna be doing this when Mikey was still alive and he was rapping and stuff. I used to tell him all the time, like, bro, if you just create a story, like I'm telling you, like, yeah, you can rap, you got bars, but if you create a story, I'm telling you, they gonna fuck with it. And like right before he died, like his last 2 songs were storytelling songs. And I'm like, damn, he finally did what he was supposed to do. And then he died. So I think that's where, like, in the back of my head, I think that's where it comes from. Is like I wanted him to get so into storytelling that now I can't help that. I just do it naturally.
Right. That's an incredible story. And also I want to congratulate you because you recently graduated college, correct?
Yes, sir.
Congratulate. Where'd you go?
North Carolina Central University, the North Carolina Central
The
University.
one and only. When it came to like doing the college stuff and the music, how did that kind of affect you? Like, were you doing it? Well, I mean, obviously you do it at the same time, but like,
it was
go through it. Go ahead.
My first year in music was my last year of college.
Okay.
So it was super tough because I didn't want to just like jump in the game and be one of them rappers that's like, oh, I've been rapping for 5 and 10 years. And, I'm just now like, nah. I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going in head first. And I'm trying to be like on. I was telling everybody, like, I'm going to be on in a year. Like, that's what it is. Like, I don't know what I'm be doing, but I'm going to be signed.
You're going to be there.
Music. Like, and so that's what I went. Like, that was my mentality. And that's always been my mentality. This is like, I gotta be here, not here.
What did you go to college for? What was your major?
Sports science.
Sports science. So graduating college, does that still have like an effect on what you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you actively pursuing that by any means? Because rappers and artists have multiple things, but how does that affect you?
Not right now. Like, I plan to, like, but it's more of like an investment type of thing now. So it's like I'm gonna get my money back for what I spent on the student loan. Yeah.
Those student loans be kicking ass.
I don't plan on going back to school and like getting this and like, nah, I just really wanted to get my degree so that I can have it under my belt and everything. Because like I said, my last year of college was my first year of rap. And I wanted to quit like one or the other so many times. And then it was like when I finished and when I actually did it and I completed and like I got signed to SCE maybe like a month or 2 months before I graduated college. It was like everything was just working out in favor because I seen how much work I had put in over that whole year. So I'm just like, nah, I gotta finish.
How did you link with SCE originally? How did that happen?
Zay to go, who I met at
Hey,
school.
shout out Zay. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
interviewed
yeah.
Zay not long ago on the show. He actually was the first person to mention you to me.
That's my bro. He's the first person to mention me to a lot of people. Like, he the first person to mention me to social currency, first person to mention me, like, I mean, Zay posted me on his Instagram when I had like probably like 2,000 followers.
Oh,
I
wow.
probably gained like 2,000 just off of Zay, like posting me every day. He was posting me more than he was posting himself. Like, he was supposed to be every day.
More than his kids too.
Yeah, it was like all my content was on his story. Like,
That's
for
amazing.
like the first 2 months, it was funny.
That's amazing. So when you got signed and whatnot, did you ever think that was gonna like become a reality for you, like getting signed to a label, getting signed to, something like that, like Social Currency?
Honestly, yeah. Like I knew that I was gonna get signed. I knew that because, like I said, when I first recorded that first song, I'm talking about within a month, or probably not even a month, within 3 weeks, I had it like mixed or whatever, and I was performing it. Like, I was already hitting the road. I was already doing showcases. I was already paying. I was getting gypped. I'm paying $50 to perform. I'm paying $100 to perform one song, but it's every night. Like, literally, I was calling my people like, yo, let's put together 500. I'm trying to do this festival this weekend. Yo, can you send me $20? I got the other 20. I'm trying to do this showcase tonight. It's 40. Like, when I say I was running, and I was by myself too. So it was just like, it was standing out to everybody.
That's so cool how that all kind of panned out and whatnot for you. And I also heard that the Brat showed love to you, which is amazing. That's incredible. That's very dope. Tell me how that kind of happened.
So somebody that I used to go to school with, their mom.
Yo, it's all a school story. Everything's a school story. It's crazy.
So they say you meet like some of your lifelong friends in college, your biggest connections, biggest network. Like,
facts.
I honestly did. But somebody I was going to school with, one of my friends, his mom sent my music to her, like DM'd her, like, check this out, and she really checked it out and like DM me.
What did y'all talk about in the DMs?
I was trying to figure out for the longest, like, what brought her to my page? Because I didn't follow her, honestly. I didn't follow her. So I'm like, what brought her to my page? Like, what brought her to my page? And probably like a week or two go by, and he hits me up. He DMs me. He like, yo, my mom, he DMs me a screenshot. Yo, my mom just told me she sent this to the Brat. And then I see on your page, she really responded. I'm like, yo, tell your mom.
That's crazy. What did you and the Brat talk about in the DMs?
She just told me, like, keep working. She see me grinding, like, keep going.
That's incredible. And so you were also mentioning before this interview that there's a social currency collective project on the way as well, correct?
Yeah. So we got the social currency collab tape.
Nice.
Dropping very, 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 very soon. Like, very soon.
So it's all you guys on it. It's on the way very soon. We don't have a release date for you, right?
No,
but
we have a release date, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. So I'm not going.
So we'll just say it's on the way. And being from North Carolina and Charlotte, how did that kind of have like an effect on your music growing up, or like your musical taste, your musical interests, your style that you have now?
What's crazy is music really didn't have an effect on my influence. Like, I wasn't into it. I'm never
went into like local music.
Yeah, like I've never been into like local music and like listening to local rappers and stuff like that. But I seen the baby movement. I seen what he was doing and stuff like that. But it was new, like, because we Charlotte, we not Atlanta, and the baby was like first one to do it. So it was new. So when he doing it, was like, bro, this nigga is crazy, putting his flyers up everywhere. Everywhere I go, I'm seeing this nigga face. Like, bro, this man is crazy. At the time, thinking like, this dude weird, but I wasn't knowing like, nah, this dude is smart. But like I said, I wasn't into music, so I didn't know that's what you're supposed to even be doing. Like, I didn't know who was rapping in this city. I had no idea.
So he was going crazy before the rest of the world knew about him.
Yeah, like he was already hip to Charlotte. Like everybody already knew him. Everybody knew who he was. Like if you say he didn't lying, like everybody knew who he was.
And he was
But
just
it was
like
because
outside
he
posting all these flyers up and shit like that, like a madman.
man, that dude used to like everywhere he went, shirt, like everybody in the shirts with his face on it. This one he was baby Jesus. Like
Yes,
he he would walk in with like big baby Jesus posters and all that. Like he ordering bottles to the section. He doing his thing. Like so all eyes is on him. And he was like tearing like Cameo and Label. Those were the two like popping clubs. He was tearing them up every week. Every week. So it was like you had to know who he was.
that's incredible. I've never even heard these like personal stories about the baby in Charlotte like that. Like I've never gotten that perspective on him before. That's kind of dope that like
Yeah.
that
Cause
he was.
Charlotte people be trying to act like he ain't who he is, but man, he that nigga, bro. They don't be wanting to give him the flowers, but shit, fuck it, I'll give it to him.
Why he kind of started like the new movement of like young rappers out of not just Charlotte but
But
North Carolina in general.
but you know when you the first nigga to do some shit,
You right.
it take a while before they give you respect. Like now they give him his respect. Now he come to Charlotte and shoot, he just shot a video with Boosie and I think the whole city was there. Like now he gets his respect, you know. But it's like back then they didn't want to give it to him.
They didn't want to show him love.
Mm-mm.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But I love that. So for what's next for you? You know what I'm saying? So obviously we got the collab project on the way with the label. We got this amazing project Tyesha out now. What else is next for you?
Dude, just dope visuals for Tyesha. I've only dropped one visual so far. But with COVID and everything like that, a lot of stuff is just now opening back up. So we just now able to shoot them. Cause I didn't want to just, let's just shoot right here in the cul-de-sac and real quick, or let's shoot in the corner of the house real quick. Like I don't want the videos like that. That worked for some artists, but the way I'm storytelling, the way I'm like giving the real body of work, I want the video to coincide. So we starting to shoot stuff and everything like that now and getting everything rolling out now. So video is definitely on the way.
That's amazing. Well, you know what? I want to thank you for taking some time out of your busy day to come chop it up with me. This is an absolute pleasure. Congratulations on the new project. No, of course, my pleasure. Let the people know anything where they can follow you at, anything else that they got to be in tune with that you wanna throw in there, message to your fans, whatever. Now's the time to go ahead and drop that in there.
Look, Tyesha is out now on all platforms, everywhere. Make sure you go get it. You can follow me and find me anywhere at LittleJohn4k. That's LittleJohn 4k. It's always long live Mikey. And if you haven't seen the different video that's out now on my YouTube, go watch it. Ooh.
That was a great outro, by the way. It's LittleJohn 4k on the radar.